What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first video in the quick tips series for March. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to try to get through these videos quickly, but also give you concise information that will really help you and let you take actionable steps. So here we go. For the first topic, we're going to be talking about desert island sample libraries. What should you pick? Right? So if you were stuck on a desert island with your laptop and and a MIDI controller, and you wanted to produce some orchestral music, what would you choose? And assuming you had internet connection. All right, let's dive right into it. First of all, if you were just starting out, I would definitely recommend the East West Hollywood Orchestra, which is located in Composer Cloud. Now, if you're not aware of what this is, it's essentially a subscription model for East West instruments. And these are very top of the line instruments, very deeply sampled, very large libraries actually, at a very affordable price of $19.99 a month. So the only thing about this is that it's a subscription, right? So then you don't own any of the libraries outright. You basically download what you need, use them in your music, and when you don't need them anymore, or if you're not interested anymore, you simply cancel your subscription, and your access to these libraries is no longer granted. Okay. So this is a very affordable option if this is what you're going for. If you're just starting out in the orchestral world and you're thinking, okay, I want to try my hand at orchestration or adding, virtual instruments to my music, this is what I would recommend. I also should have added the Hollywood Orchestral Percussion in there as well, as that is the fourth section of the orchestra. Let's continue. If you need more of an all-in-one library, now let's say you really, you kind of decided, all right, I'm going to actually go into this orchestral path, and I want to have a product that, gives me an all-in-one. I want all the orchestral sections located in this library, and I don't want to have separate products for it because I don't have that much space, and I just really want to get music, making my music right away. So here you have several options, and I definitely did not list all of them. There's way more than I can list in this video, but I just listed 3 examples here. So the first one is by Orchestral Tools, and it's called Berlin Inspire. Now this library is basically taking elements from their Berlin main series, which are very large libraries, and they condense them into very affordable and smaller packages. So they have 2 Inspire packages, 1 and 2, and both of them can run on an 8 gigabyte RAM computer. So that is very, very good for someone starting out. I just wrote here that, there are solo plus ensembles. So you'll find solo instruments, which are very good to have. You don't have all of them. So, you do get the flute and the French horn. I think you get a clarinet as well, if I'm not mistaken. But the overall sound is more of a classical film sound. It's definitely really good for classical music, but it doesn't get that detailed. So you probably wouldn't want to use it to mock up a full classical score. You would probably have to invest in the larger collections for this. But as a general all-purpose library, it's very good, and the sound quality is really its selling point. Okay. Another really good one along the same path is actually Audio Imperiaz Nucleus. You get several soloists, great sound, very good for basically classical film scoring as well as some hybrid scoring. The library comes with 2 mix positions, so one standard and one more of a modern mix, which, if you want to get a more modern sound, you can choose that option. Let's move on to the second option here. Listed is Cinna Symphony Lite from Cinna Samples. One of my favorite developers. They record their products at the Sony stage in Los Angeles, California. And in terms of size, you can't really beat this. It's a full orchestra in a 2 gigabyte library. And I also wrote down it's a very filmic sound and very Hollywood. So you just want to listen to the demos, make sure you like the sound, and then if this is something you're interested in, do pick it up. Be aware that it is ensembles only, so you do not get solo instruments in this package. It's very good for sketching, right? So sound quality wise, it's amazing. Just note that there are no solo instruments and you will have only sections. Okay. And so I think it's only 4 or 5 patches, or maybe 6 in total. Very concise library. Okay. And finally, on the other end of the spectrum, if you're looking for an orchestral package that is much more comprehensive, takes up a lot more room, to the point where they actually can ship you their own SSD with a library on it because it's that big. You have something like Spitfires BBC Symphony Orchestra, and you can see that on the right bottom there. And now this library is basically a very comprehensive sampling of the actual BBC Orchestra, and it's from what I've heard of the demos, I personally do not own this library, but it sounds wonderful, and it basically covers all the orchestral sections. It includes soloists as well, so you get ensembles, you get soloists, right? And you get many articulations, as well as lots of microphone options. Now, this is something I personally don't really like. I'm not as interested in different microphone positions. I really only need like 3 or 4 maximum. A close one, a detailed one, a further one that gives me some nice room sound, maybe some wide stereo ones, but that's pretty much it. But Spitfire went the extra mile and actually recorded these spill microphones to add some extra realism there. So that is about $1,000, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So these other two are within a couple $100s compared to BBC. Okay. When you look at the actual content included in the BBC, though, you'll see that $1,000 is actually not bad for what you get. So just make sure you watch through the videos and listen to the demos. All right. So in terms of all-in-ones, those are what I would recommend. And finally, if you're looking to dive into individual sections of the orchestra and pick up separate libraries for those, I would recommend the Cinematic Studio series. And now you see here, I only have 3 of those products listed up. I'm missing their piano, which is also available. But we have the Cinematic Studio strings, solo strings, piano, and brass. And I've noted there in the second point that it's quite affordable. Each of these sections being $400 essentially. The solo strings are actually $299, so $300, while the piano is $70. Okay. You'll notice we're missing woodwinds and percussion. So for woodwinds, I could recommend something like Berlin Woodwinds from Orchestral Tools. Very nice package. Spitfire Symphonic Woodwinds is also very nice. Spitfire also has their studio range of woodwinds, so you might want to check those out as well. Those are a little bit more affordable. And in terms of percussion, Impact Soundworks has a really cool library called Rhapsody Orchestral Percussion. Spitfire has their own percussion library. And Orchestral Tools also has Berlin. And Cinna Samples also has their Cinna Perk. So I don't want to get too in detail here, but these are all different options for you. But in terms of ease of use, I've noted here on the very last point, the sound quality is excellent. The legato is especially beautiful, I think. And it's very user-friendly. So you see in the latter 2 pictures on the right, you'll see that the page contains all the different articulations in the library. So there's really only 8 different articulations, and that's really all you need for your basic bread and butter writing. And yeah, that is definitely a series of libraries I would recommend for you. So that is basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to leave your own suggestions in the comments below. Of course, I did not address even the beginning of the iceberg, but in terms of a quick tips video, these are the ones I would recommend off the top of my head right away. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow in another video. And yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.